Today, from MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, it's Week 5 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the New York Giants taking on the Minnesota Vikings.
We welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
This one taken just inside the 10, and a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
Well, his ratio was good last week. Most quarterbacks are really excited about a 3-to-1 ratio, but it's flipped in the wrong direction. He threw 3 interceptions, not touchdown passes, and he only had the 1 TD pass in that game. So he's trying to turn that around and find a way for his team to win.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. A check on Jacobs from a week ago. 12 carries, 62 yards.
And they've got a nice scheme going right now, and they run the football pretty well. In fact, I was talking with him on the field before the game, and he said he's starting to hear.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about.
Holding offense.
So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Completes this to Callaway over on the right side. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did. Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Josh Jacobs with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Giants are going to take a first quarter lead. This is a crew. They've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. Get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting out a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
Now a play fake here on first down. And right away, he lost the football. And who's got it? The Giants. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a 2-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. 2-hand. Oh, I get it. 2-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And the Giants are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Josh Jacobs with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Giants are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here in this first quarter, and he's got both of them.
Well, he's certainly setting himself up for a big game here, and I think if the play caller doesn't get in his own way, they should keep riding him the entire way of this game. Until the defense proves they can stop him, that's what I would call.
Zerline good with a PAT, and it's now 14-0. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. He'll drop to throw. The throw for Claypool is intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week, and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and he can't do it all on one throw.
And possession switching back to the New York Giants. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner, they can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one, they've got to take care of business first.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off at the 11. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates.
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. A give. This is Cook. And some space here. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 44 yards rushing for him now in his first 2 carries of the ball game. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Cook. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now Cook. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he's got this to Jefferson. Touchdown, Vikings! Justin Jefferson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings have made this now a 1-score game.
Brandon, what we just saw there were 2 guys who are in sync. The person delivering the ball, but especially the person running the route. Tremendous job. It results in a terrific play.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. And to give this time to the tailback. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there.
was a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? He's brought down by Terrell Burgess.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points.
And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Josh Jacobs on his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. Zerline connects on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Minnesota.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times where they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, and if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. They'll set up to throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands. That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach. I don't know about you, but I wanted to reach out of the booth and snatch that pass myself. That thing floated forever up there. I think that threw off the timing of the receiver. That's why he couldn't get his feet down even though he caught the ball.
You know, Charles, I would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah, me too.
For you. I wanted to see you reach out and catch that.
Yeah, you've heard about my hands, huh?
Got a man, it's complete, it's Palmer. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
Every now and then I can speak from experience because I do know, as a defender, it is awfully hard to stay with your man on these crossing routes because even if you don't get picked, there's a danger of being picked either by one of their receivers or maybe by your own defender. And on that play, that worked quite well.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's caught right side by Palmer. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there.
That's a nice job of working his way open down in the red zone. Looked that one in and then made a beeline for the pylon. He didn't quite get there, and you want to give him a little extra for the effort, but instead...
And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Josh Jacobs on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns, and the Giants add on to their lead. Zerline good with a PAT, and the lead now up to 14. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this drive's going to go a long way towards telling us whether they actually have a chance to come all the way back in this game or not.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. That's to Cook out of the backfield. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll look to throw again. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. To the right side and complete to Jefferson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They go play action here on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. And his kick is good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. Lastly,
an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And we will not see a return to start the half, as this will be a touchback. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. And, Charles, they trail here, though not really the fault of this offense.
No, they certainly did their part in the first half. But when you're in a shootout like this, you definitely want your defense to play better, but you know that's out of your control. All you can do, keep putting points on the scoreboard and keep giving your defense opportunities to make stops.
They'll look to throw. That'll be complete to Cook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 7 yards, the pickup there. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. He's got a man complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big play that time through the air. 34 yards.
I'm pretty sure any quarterback will tell you it's nice to have a tight end that can stretch the field. And how about him right there, working in the heart of the defense, and they connect on a very nice play downfield. A combination of talent and toughness to go into the briar patch.
2nd and 7. Now a run with Cook. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5. Now back to throw. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. And this one is right through. And that'll make this an 8-point game. So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. They find some open field here. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And even 100 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
And Daniil Hunter, he's the one who gets in there and brings him down to the ground.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. A handoff as they run the counter play. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Back to throw. That is caught by Callaway. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away.
And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked out at about the 3-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Second down at 7.
Back to throw here.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And they're going to have a 3rd down. Here's Cook, and he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the 1st down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. Now he dumps this off over the middle, and down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Now a throw here, hauled in. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. Now they'll throw here, out of the gun. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. It's got to be so tough having the ball in the middle of the field like that, knowing that a linebacker is just waiting to make a big tackle like we just saw.
No doubt about it, because offense coordinators love to call plays to send receivers into the middle of the field. And linebackers, they want to naturally discourage those plays from being called.
And the giant rush gets home as down he goes.
Azeez Ojulari.
What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
Picked off right around the 43. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown. It'll
bit of a backbreaker right there. You're down close, one-score game, trying to push the ball down the field and score. You throw a pick six.
And sometimes you take a little bit of a gamble when you're making your throws, right? Sometimes you press it a little bit more than maybe you wanted to because you want that score so badly. In this case, it cost them.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. We'll see if they can band back together after the pick six. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. A two-score game with a good chunk of time on the clock. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they... And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. He's picked off at his own 46, and the return stops at the 39-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Flushed out right. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. And that one complete to his receiver, Palmer. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29.
Now that's a big pickup right there, and so often we focus on how the quarterback's faking on play action. How about everyone being in on the deal and picking it up?
Second, third levels, you could see them trying to recover. They bit. Worked out offensively. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Pushes him over, and he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is first and goal. Now it looks like he'll throw here. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Now from the 9, here's second and goal. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, third and goal. They'll run with Jacobs, and he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. And Zerline's kick is good. And that will make this now an 18-point ball game. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off Byron Jones. And the Giantsons are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. On play action, they'll throw. Rolling to his right. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
They're enjoying a 4th quarter advantage. Second down, Jacobs once more. 147 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for the Giants, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.